Now, if you're going to try to make one of these, make it chunky, right? Make it strong. Make it, you know, it doesn't need to be massive, but so it's not going to break the first time somebody breathes on it the wrong way. Here's another thing that I like to do with teapots. If it's a smallish teapot, you could easily put that handle right there, yes? Pick it up, even with liquid, yes? Whereas a biggish teapot, you'd almost need something more, yeah? So this is picked up from above rather than from below, right? Pardon your wrists. And what I like to do is have this thing be cane. So this is a traditional English cane handle, which are starting to be hard to find commercially because nobody makes handmade teapots anymore. So you just bend this little flap down and you bend it into these little lugs. Now here's the other thing about these lugs. Make them chunky, not some little tiny little flaring thing that's going to break the first time you look at it the wrong way. All right? Why do I like this? Because you can bend this down and store it that way. It takes up less space. You can hit it without it breaking, right? So you got a big clay handle here. It takes up an enormous amount of space, and it's fragile. It's another extension, just like this is. So if anything breaks on this teapot, basically it's probably going to be this thing right here. Now let's talk about this thing right there. I'm going to throw one of these today, but this is weird, right? Typically they're just kind of round and symmetrical and they come off that surface. This is, you know, it's just something you see in the art historical sort of record. This is a reference to Anatolian, so from Turkey, present-day Turkey, ewers, pitchers, all right, that people did, and I just always liked those. And guess what? You kind of see where the liquid is. In a way, you're pouring, and you kind of see, oh, that's okay. Here's the other part of this. Do you see this hanging lip here? What is that all about? We've talked about this. Leanne, do you remember? No, that smile just means you're thinking about something completely different. Anybody remember what this is all about?
So that the water doesn't...
That final drip, right? Inevitably, you're pouring liquid. It's going to come curling around that lip. Some people like to make a little nice sharp edge there, so it cuts that moisture flow. But inevitably, it comes curling around, and guess what? It comes drooling down the front of your form. So this final lip here, which is way below what's behind it, means what? That drip actually has to go uphill to come drooling down this thing. Oh, guess what? That's not going to happen. So you pour, and that last little drip is right there. You can either wipe it off on something or just give it a nick, and it's gone. So yes, clever. Well, that's the theory at least. All right, so this is what I'm doing. This is my teapot, right? So I've just done these, and I just keep doing them because I'm in love with this teapot. Notice this funny little swirly thing. It's just to keep it from being boring, all right? Any kind of an angle in any kind of a composition implies motion, right? So guess what? There's that motion of how this thing was made, the wheel. All right, and there's a little bit of that stuff going on here, which I'll show you right now. So any questions about this? I have some of these, so if you're interested, maybe let me know. There's a Japanese version of this, which instead of being cane, is bamboo, and you can get them pretty readily because there's a lot more sort of a Japanese ethnic presence in LA, and you can go to various stores and find these. But anyway, this little thing here ends up being a wire hook, and I never really liked them much until I tried them out, and they're actually pretty practical. You can open that wire very easily, you just pop this off, throw this in the dishwasher if you need to, or whatever, right? And replace them pretty easily. These are a little trickier. If these tend to be misused, they will break, right? If they're a little bit old and brittle, they'll break and crack, and you just throw it away and get a new one. So the secret with using this caning is to soak it in water. Soak it overnight, and it's nice and flexible. You put it on here, and then it just dries in place, okay?